Welcome to another episode of Outside the Algorithm. I am your host, Samuel Patrick. Today is April 28th, 2022. We're streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. I'm live from Los Angeles right now. We have guests from all over the map. If you're in the comments, let us know where you're tuned in from. We would love to, see where we're hitting on the map. I still think the record is Afghanistan, but don't quote me on that. We've definitely hit every continent except for Antarctica. Possibly, someone needs to remind me if Australia is a continent. I probably shouldn't turn this into a Brain Busters thing this early. I don't really know. But outside the algorithm, basically what we're doing tonight is we're going to be talking with some artists who I've met or haven't met yet. I've become familiar with over the past month or so. And I wanted to get to know them and I wanted to introduce them to y'all. And you can join the conversation as well. So besides letting us know where you're tuned in from, you can drop your questions and comments in the chat below. We can bring them up on the screen. We can even bring you up on the screen if you want to. So, without further ado though, we're gonna get things going here with Plato III. What's happening, man? How are you?
What's up, Sam? Thank you for having me. Australia, most definitely a continent. I've been substitute teaching, so I've been picking some things up.
And perfect. Those are the synchronicities I'm looking for. That's what's up, man. Educating the youth.
That's right. That's right. Or the adults. We lose some things as we age. Right?
Yeah. What Jay said, I forgot more than you ever learned. Right.
That's right.
So, what's that? So you're in Austin, if I'm correct, right?
I'm from Abilene, from West Texas originally, but I've been out in LA since 2016. So.
Oh, you're in LA.
I am. Yeah, I just my project is kind of me going back through some memories and reflecting on how I got here from Texas. So I feel more Texan than ever out here. Sometimes you got to go away from home to kind of realize, what it taught you and how it molded you. So that's kind of what happened. But I've been in LA for a minute.
I was in Highland Park the other day, and the cowboy hats are definitely here.
Oh, did they?
Oh yeah. That's what's up. So we definitely will be linking up then.
Yes,
I thought I was gonna have to drive to Texas to see you. So
now you can bring that mobile studio just 30 minutes. Everywhere is 30 minutes away. So
that's perfect.
So
I wanted to congratulate you, man. I know you just signed a deal, Polyvinyl Records.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Long time coming. It's like my ninth project, only my fourth under this name, but yeah, man, I've been rapping since I was signing blank disc with Sharpies, in high school. So it's really cool to have some support.
What were you recording on back then?
I think first one was an app called Audacity, which I think still exists on the Windows, and things really kicked off when we got that torrented Fruity Loops. Must have been Fruity Loops like 4 or something. It had to be one of the basic ones.
Yep.
But yeah, that torrenting and that LimeWire really got us going where we needed to be.
Rapping right into the laptop mic?
Yeah. It was a $10 USB Walmart microphone. And somehow, shout out to everybody that bought a little $5 copies. The quality did not deserve, any money. So, that support goes a long way. You get someone to buy your shitty, USB Walmart microphone for $5. Like, maybe I can do it again. Do it a little better. And here we are, just trying to do it a little better every time.
Yeah, and you said Abilene, right? Were there a lot of folks rapping out there, or?
No. I mean, it's interesting because when I come to LA, I say West Texas, and you kind of get the cowboy hats, country, horses, sort of, and we had that, but there's also, it was there was a side of town, and a group of people, a diverse group of people that you don't really see when they do Friday night. I guess Friday Night Lights. Sometimes you got Booby Miles, and you got some people from that side of the tracks. But yeah, it was. There's definitely some street people there that just don't are surviving off minimum wage and trying to make things work and hustling. So uh, that's what I was trying to bring on this album. It's like I'm not the inner city kid because we're kind of out there in the country, but we had some things in common. But definitely there were a few of us, and we were all very competitive because we were like, we've never seen anybody make it out. So definitely there's only
Yeah.
going to be one. So we didn't group up like Wu-Tang or Odd Future or anything like that, like we should have, and put our resources together because we were just on that competitive rap shit.
Steel sharpens steel. You about to feel really old, my guy?
Yeah.
Are you about to feel really old? Check out
Yeah.
this comment.
Oh, right in the heart. That's a dagger.
Do
That's
you want to
fair.
answer it?
Let's see. So once upon a time, I would say, yeah, it was just before iTunes, and I would say it's the closest thing might be the Pirate Bay, which maybe don't get on that right now.
Don't click any of these
I'm
websites
not
that we're
co-signing
saying.
the Pirate Bay, but yeah, LimeWire is where you would go, kind of post Napster. Don't ask me what Napster is. That was a little before my time, where you could get any song you wanted, and you can get any sort of program you wanted, and most of the time, the song you wanted, you say you put in like, Jay-Z Dead Presidents, you end up getting like, Nas, The World Is Yours. Like most of the titles weren't even the songs you were looking for. So
Yeah,
it was
sometimes
a
the title
wild
said
time.
10 artists in it, and you just
Yeah.
download it. You'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
Was Kaza was another of that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
forgot
not.
that.
Yeah. Anyways, shout out Kiki.D tapped in. She knew about the torrenting, but
Okay.
yeah,
Nice.
LimeWire was a brief moment in time, post Napster, peer-to-peer file sharing, I guess we'd call it.
I get that.
I definitely didn't steal music, so who knows, you know.
Yeah, I was about 10 to 12. So I was.
Yeah, no, I'm being so. Yeah, and you're.
Okay. If the Fed's
Yeah,
watching.
they were at a moment for a little bit.
Okay.
Not me, but people. They were getting people for a minute for that. But anyway, so Abilene, because yeah, I know about Abilene from like Jerry Jeff Walker and stuff like that.
Yo, I
And
don't even know who that country artist.
yeah,
Yeah, I can
yeah,
tell by the name.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, Jerry Jeff.
Gary Jeff
Um,
Walker.
but I've been to West Texas.
Oh,
Yeah, I got some homies out near Big Bend National Park,
okay.
down by the border, down in Terlingua.
Yeah.
What I liked about what you put out is so "Give 'Em Hell" is the video that grabbed me that you did, and if y'all haven't seen the video, we'll put it in the links and all that. But I thought it was real cool because I'm a like Texas hip hop fan, like big UGK fan, like more that side, more Houston, Port Arthur. Like so, I'm used to country rap tunes. I'm used to that side of it. And then I know some other smaller groups that have done stuff that gets your feel, but you captured that other feel of Texas, where if you drive through it and you've been to Texas, you know that exists. So I really like that you grabbed that, like it's just hot and dry and
Whole
you
bunch of yeah,
know.
whole bunch of nothing, just planes on planes. Yeah, that was the goal, man. If you picked it up, the visual I think helped. Shouts out to the team that helped me, you know, directed that and put that together. But yeah, I grew up. I was actually born in Port Arthur, and obviously Texas is known Houston and screw music and obviously UGK. And so, coming up rapping, you learn how to rap listening to like boom bap in New York or G Funk or Yes Sir Kiki Dot or trap in Atlanta. And I was taking all those things, and this was the first time where I was like, yo, what if I just try to create a sound unique to where I'm from? Obviously nobody's been from there, so I don't know if it'll connect with people, but you know boom bap, they didn't know if it would connect with people at first, so I thought it was worth a shot, and I tried to capture, yeah, that dry crabgrass, and
Yeah, you even had the jailbreak. You
yeah,
had it all.
yeah,
So I got to ask because I didn't. How did you put that crew together on that song?
The rappers, the other artists.
You got screamers, singers, rappers. Like, what's the story behind that?
So those are all. I try to every album. I try to work with some people from my hometown, from Abilene, and Merck. I worked with before. We actually did a song called "Feel the Hell" on my last album, so that made sense. And then Blase, man, he was in my first band actually. We did one show as like a Rage Against the Machine cover band, and he was the drummer on that. And then their homie Mills, they kind of just started this crew, Ethel Gang, that was really inspiring me and putting music out from my hometown. And had me feeling like, yo, I gotta get back in the studio. I just try to, show some love and make a good at song. So, I put them on. And Mickey was also from Abilene. So it's basically cats I grew up with, like talented people. I wanted to, show that, your homies and the people across the street might be just as talented as, the people with millions of followers and all that shit. I think they all came correct. So
It was dope, man. I really liked the way it flowed from artists. I actually didn't know who you were at first when I saw it. Do you know what I mean? I was like, which one's Plato III? Because that was my introduction to you, and it just kind of it's a longer song too, close to 5 minutes, I want to say. And
yeah, it's actually it's a weird, but we put 3 songs in one, so it kind of flows well. That's again credit to the directors behind it, but. Yeah, I thought about that too, but you gotta share the spotlight and eat with the ones you starve with. So I was super excited I was worried about getting them all in the same place at the same time, because you know how artists are. But I'm super glad we made that happen and put that together.
You did it. Salute to you, man. Salute to you. You put Abilene. There's mad people who didn't know Abilene was even a place until 12 minutes ago. So shout out to you for spreading the word, man. So we got a question. Shout out to Kiki. She's tapped in tonight. So she wants to know. Well, you can read it, I guess, and answer that.
Is it a natural process, or every year does it feel more difficult to feature someone from your hometown in a project? It's natural. I wouldn't say that I make it a point like, all right, who am I gonna do this year? It's just honestly my favorite artists are from my hometown. It's what inspires me, because it feels like I know their story. I know like they ain't got bots pushing them, or they don't got like a PR team hyping them up. It's just people making music because they love to. And so, and this one is fun. I worked like 10 or 15 because this one was a really close to home project. The producer on this album, this guy named Philip Odom, he's actually from Abilene as well, and he moved out to Philly and made a name in the hardcore scene. And he hadn't done a hip hop project before, but he had worked with a lot of hardcore sort of like metal or punk bands. And Fantano, shout him out last year for his album he did, Portrayal of Guilt is the name of the band. But anyways, yeah, this one, it just feels better to make music with friends. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I get the chance to work with like Jay-Z or somebody, obviously that would be awesome. But I think making music with your friends is where it starts out, and how we all start. It's probably the funnest way to do it.
Music's so fun, man. And if you can keep it that way, the longer you can keep it that way, the better. I mean, I've reconnected with some folks that just started making music or just did this or that, and it's always good to get that fresh energy. So I dropped the link in the comments for folks who want to watch it, and we'll share it as well. This is where they can get you, right? At Plato III on everything.
That's right. Yeah, I gotta get more active on Twitter. I kind of, like I said, I was rapping like 15 years ago, so I remember like where you didn't have to have a social media presence, so you could be Prince and just show up, with a cool out. So I gotta get more active on Twitter. On Instagram, I post a little bit more, but yeah. That's it.
So we'll get, and I know you. One sort of difference between us is my team isn't playing right now, but I know your team is still playing.
We just squad. I thought I heard you was from Boston.
Oh yeah, we bleed green over here.
Yeah. So you're playing. So you're in the round. You're bragging that you already made it.
Yeah, we already handled our business.
Okay.
You know. Nah, I got it. I'm not even gonna front like I watched that many games this year, but I'm rooting for you, man.
They're looking good. If I had to put money on anybody, I think the Celtics, it might be their year.
It's not too late. It's not too late. Get to Vegas. I mean, Bucks are tough, but they just had that Middleton's hurt, so that could change things quite a bit. But anyway, I'll let you get to the game, man. It's playoff basketball. I appreciate you taking a break to chat with us about everything. Please keep in touch, man. Let us know what's going on. I'll hit you anyway offline, and maybe we can link up for real, do something cool. And yeah, I appreciate you tapping in. Is there anything you want to talk about that we didn't get to?
No, man, I just, again, appreciate you for having me. Keeping, again, like I was talking about making music with friends, like, and their passion and just making music for fun. Like, people who love music and hip hop, especially, this stuff is always fun to be around, and I think keeps the magic alive, the culture, whatever word you want to use. And so I appreciate what you do, man. And yeah, I got another single, I think, dropping next month, and then album, The Devil Has Texas, in June, as of right now. So if if you want to take a trip to Abilene, that's kind of what we're trying to do on the album. So appreciate you having me, Samuel. Sorry, I don't know you like that. I don't know if you like it shortened, but
hey, whatever you feel. But I appreciate you saying that. Be well, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I definitely do want to go to Abilene, like whether sonically or physically. So I'll send you some country songs about it so you can understand my perspective. All right, peace, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good show. I'll catch you later after we get that win.
Yeah, get that. All right, shout out Plato III. Shout out everyone tuning in. Kiki, I appreciate all the questions. If you're enjoying the live, do me a favor, share it with your friends, your family, strangers. Put it on the internet, and that includes if you're listening after the fact to the replay. Send it along too. You can always share, spread the word. This has been super organic so far, and we want to keep it moving that way. Questions and comments, as always, you can drop them right in the chat. We'll bring them up on the screen. Plato III, give them hell out right now. And now I'd like to bring to the stage Miss Signature Noel.
Hey.
What's happening?
Not much. How you doing?
Good. So we met just about a year ago on April 24th, 2021. For the music video / photo shoot. And I saw you in the comments. That was your first ever photo shoot.
Well, that was my first studio shoot. I had done some like outside, but never in a studio before. I was so nervous that day. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it.
Well, I'm glad you came. I definitely did not know you were that new to the scene.
It was such an amazing experience. So thank you for having me, and thank you for having me today.
You're welcome. Yeah, I wanted to. It was cool because I followed everyone that was involved, and it seems like you, like it was near the beginning of a transformation for you. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it definitely was. Like this time last year, I was like, okay, what am I doing? I got to start making some moves. I got to start really putting myself out there. And even though I'm a little nervous and scared, I got to turn it into excitement and just kind of go for it. And doing the dumb music video was like the start of it all.
And what has happened since then?
Since then, a lot has happened. First, I parted ways with my corporate job.
Okay.
And that happened like in the end of May of 2021. And from there, I, just kind of moved forward more into my artistry. I've done a couple of fashion shows. I did a commercial last month with WebEx, and that was my first speaking role. So I kind of, started to dabble into the acting world. And tomorrow I'm going to be opening up a beautiful fashion show for Waves New Age. It's over out in Worcester. That's where the show is going to take place. And I'm honestly just loving and enjoying every single thing that's been happening this past year.
Nice. So you have a fashion show tomorrow in Worcester. So this is perfect
Yes.
timing. What is it open to the public? Can people go check it out?
Yeah, it's open to the public. I have all the information in my link tree, which is on all my social media platforms. The show starts like around 8 o'clock. Tickets are on sale. So if anybody wants to pull up and come see me strut, that's where I'll be.
Do you are you do you know what brands you're rocking, or how does that
Yeah,
work?
yeah. So it's for the Creative Hub of Worcester, and the fashion designers line is called Waves New Age.
Okay, Waves New Age, and this is
Yeah.
it's my dot signature art, correct?
Yep, that's it right there.
Yeah. So how you express yourself in a number of ways. I know people can hit, the social media to find out, but like, how would you describe your offerings? I guess.
So I would say that I'm an entrepreneur of the arts, and currently what I'm specializing in is acting and modeling, and also some creative direction for photo shoots.
Okay. Oh, so you're behind the scenes now too.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And so, how has the have you ever missed the corporate job since you've switched up? No.
No, it's really funny because I have like a corporate headset right now. It's the only one I could find in the house.
Yeah, I noticed
But
it was very like call center.
it's like it follows me all around, which is hilarious. What's been really ironic is with some of the acting gigs that I've been doing, a lot of them have been centered around the corporate office. And I'm just like, I'm never doing corporate life again. And then like now I'm acting like I'm at work. I just think it's hilarious how the world works.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny. A lot of the, I feel like we act in the office place a lot too.
Oh
So
yeah.
it must be nice to like be able to turn that off and go home. So you have been getting gigs and stuff. Has it been, so there's a lot of people who probably want to do what you're talking about. Has
Mhm.
it been,
Challenging, scary.
yeah, you fill in the blanks, Mad Libs. How does it feel to you?
Yeah. I mean, it's really scary, but I can honestly say that this isn't something I just started a year ago. I was thinking about it since 2019, and then it took me like about a year to be ready to like start it. And, I was on vacation with my friends. I was like, I'm about to put my 2 weeks in, I'm getting out of here. And then COVID happened, and I was like, oh, Lord, I'm about to stay at this job for the rest of my life. And then, a few months into COVID, and I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. I need to start doing something that is satisfying for my life. I've outgrown this part of my life, and I want to try something new. So I just started to put action into what I wanted to do, make sure I had enough savings, make sure I had a supporting, friends and family around me, and, a lot of prayer, a lot of meditation. And that's just kind of how everything happened.
Yeah, your mental health all of a sudden becomes really important.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're keeping an eye on that. And it seems like it's been flowing kind of naturally. Do you have so if someone's watching and they're like, okay, I think I want to book her for something. Like, what are you looking for? Like, what's your sort of if you could paint, your dream picture here?
So I would love to do or continue doing high fashion photo shoots. I also do some lifestyle photo shoots as well, some commercials, some runway shows. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with the things and skills that I'm ready for. As far as like the creative direction, all of my photo shoots, I have had some input on the creative direction for that. So if anyone goes to my website and they like the photos and they think they want to do something similar, I'm your girl.
Yeah, that's true. We told you just show up,
Yeah.
be how you feel, and you came and like knocked it out of the park. So I'm sure that's a consistent thing with you. That's awesome. Who inspires you to when you do this direction? Is there like a model or a designer that you look to or got you started?
I think in every model that I've seen and every designer that I've seen has left an impact on me. But I truly think that my sisters are the ones that inspire me. They just get so excited because I'm doing something. And then that just inspires me more to keep doing it so that they keep getting exciting. So it's kind of like a circular thing that's happening right now.
That's fire. Family's a great power
Yeah.
up. That's awesome. Are they younger, older?
They're younger. I'm the
Nice.
eldest.
Okay. So you're no pressure. No
Yeah, no
pressure.
pressure. No big deal.
That's awesome. Is there, yeah, because I'm always looking for like new designers and stuff to check out. So I'm going to check out Waves for sure in Worcester. And then you do some writing too, though, am I right?
Yes, I do. I have a couple of like flash fiction stories on my website, and they're funny. They're about a minute read or so, and the two characters are Shawnice and Lud. And I started creating them based off of like quarantine and living with someone cohabitating and just all of the things that happen. I was like, you know what? I've heard so many stories of other people and I had my own stories. So I kind of developed these two characters. And I understand that reading something for such a long time is like, ain't nobody got time for that. So it's about like a minute and a half read. I think it's a fun little read for everyone.
Oh, that is really nice. Yeah, and I have read them as
Oh,
well.
have
One-
you?
Well, I read one because I'm on your email list now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I get the emails, and they always have like really inspirational subject lines.
Yeah, thanks.
So I definitely read one of them. Do you illustrate them as well?
No, I'm
Okay.
not there yet. No.
I was gonna say, but you do seem like the type to dabble in everything. So
Yeah.
we'll have to tap you in. It's too bad you can't stick around the whole time because MonaVeli's on her fashion game too. So you guys might have some stuff to talk about after the fact. You should tap in with each other for sure.
I'd love to.
And your website, you said it's on your website. Is the best way to get it through your bio, or do you have a website you want me to throw up on the screen right now for the
Yeah.
folks?
You can throw my website up on there. That'd be great. It's
Yeah, what's that?
mysignatureart.com.
Okay. My signature art. Oh, that's like, wow, you got the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
What's the inspiration behind your name then? What's the
Yeah.
story there?
Okay, so as an artist, I think it's very important for myself at least to have a different name that I do my art under. I always thought it was very interesting that like the first name that we get in life, we don't even pick for ourselves. Someone else picks our name and then we just kind of form into that person with the expectations that our parents give us and our family and our friends. And I just wanted my artist name to be something that was like completely separated from that. So I thought, okay, I need something that stands out and I need something that really resonates with me. So I started to look at different pictures of myself. And I was like, ooh, you have a real like signature look. People like will see like this is you and this is what you look like. And I was like, that's it, I'm signature. And then, I kind of went with that name. And then Noel, that's one of my relatives' names. And I thought it was important to pay homage to my lineage. So I was like, let's just put them together, signature Noel.
I like that a lot.
Thanks.
I like that quite a bit. It is funny how the names, yeah, you're given it, and then it kind of shapes you. Names shape
Yeah.
you. I feel like certain names, like you're going to turn out a certain way, whether it's intentional or not. But yeah, names are interesting. It's funny. Plato called me Sam, and then switched it to Samuel, and like for a while I introduced myself as Sam, and like even just switching to going back to Samuel has had like an effect on me as a person. It's pretty. They're powerful things. Absolutely. I like all the family-oriented approaches you have.
Thanks.
It's good stuff. And we got a shot. And New Hampshire too, right? So we got to shout out 603, right?
Yeah, 603. That's where I used to be from, but I'm over in the Massachusetts area now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay. It happens to the best of us. Word. Well, yep, Signature, thank you for dropping in today and like keeping in touch over the last year, because it was great meeting you, and I'm glad we could introduce you to more people, and I'm very excited to see where you go with things, because it does feel like you have a very natural approach to things, and that one that's going to go well. So I wish you the best of luck, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. Definitely keep in touch, tap in with everyone here, and if y'all need, are you looking for music video work still?
Oh, of course.
Okay. If y'all need models for your videos, for your fashion shoots, for literally anything, make sure to hit at my.signatureart. She's a professional. And yeah, if you want to stick around, you're welcome. If you need to hit the road, you're welcome to do that as well. I appreciate your time. Is there anything you wanted to talk about that we didn't get to?
I just want to say thank you for having me on here. And I just think it's amazing that last year we met, and now a year later, we're still connected with one another, still uplifting each other. So I want to wish you the best. And yeah, keep up the great work.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's the vibes. Yeah. Once we're plugged in, it's for life. So hit me whenever. That goes to anybody tuned in too. All right. Thank you, Signature. Be well.
You too.
I'll talk to you soon. All right. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
All right. Again, if you're enjoying the show, please share the live. I had a question on here in the comments from Kiki. What effect does Samuel have? Basically, I realized introducing myself as Sam, I'm kind of giving people the nickname off rip, like already. I'm like shortening myself for them. So Samuel's just a little more official. It's a little more my name. And then we can upgrade to Sam. But I don't know, just selling myself short a little bit, I felt. When you have a three-syllable name, it's a different type of game you got to play out here. But speaking of somebody with a single syllable name, we got Jake Fraczek, also known as Jay the S, Jake the Snake Man, all that good stuff. Coming to the stage, what's happening, man?
Samuel Patrick, what's going on?
What's happening, man?
I'm good. I've got all the windows closed because just before this, I was doing another podcast with somebody, and I've got construction at my neighbor's house. It's loud as fuck, so everything's shut down in here, so it's nice and hot and warm.
You getting good and stuffy in there?
Well, I had to run the AC first before I shut all the shit, which fucks my allergies up, and then it's just hot in here. But the jackhammer next door is far worse.
Okay, yeah, we don't want that. It's funny you said that, and the dogs started going crazy on my end. So
they know it's the worst. These guys cut out of work. They're supposed to be done at 5. I think they usually cut at like 4:15. Those guys are done.
Word. So we just got a comment. Shout out Demar619. I don't know if Plato's bringing back Native Strangers. He was on here earlier. We'll tap in with him. You can hit him at Plato III. If not, I'll hit him up. I'll make a note of this. Let me write this down so we can do our journalism here. But thank you for tapping in, man. You're about to find out about some new artists. We got some Boston artists in here. So I don't know where you're checking in from, but happy to introduce you to these folks. Now, Jake, you're a former, so we have an interview that's dropping, like a tell-all, everything type of interview that is dropping on
60 minutes. It's intense.
Exactly. I play the role of Barbara Walters, and that'll be dropping on May 13th, I believe we said. Yeah. But it'll be dropping in May. We got busy. We talked about a lot of things. And but I want to give people a little chance to preview it with you here, and it's going to be a members only thing too. So if you're not a member of LFOD, you want to hit lfod.life/join, or just go to lfod.life. There'll be pop-ups. There's all sorts of stuff to direct you in that direction. and it'll be a members only exclusive for a little bit. We'll drop a little snippet for the folks at home, but you know, just enough. I mean, once they get a taste, I have a feeling that, you know, they come back, right?
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah. So you've been doing the press run. How's that been?
It's been good. It's been busy, man. I can't. My phone reminders are crazy, but my publicist is cool. They send me little schedules, so I make sure I don't fuck up shit. And then I set a reminder the day before, as well as like an hour before on the day. It gets confusing, but it's good. It's good.
You're describing my phone. I do the add reminder, and I have a good memory. I don't need it, but I do it anyway.
I kind of do too, but I want to know which one is what. Like I was asking you before we started, can I speak freely? Can I curse? Because some of these things I can and some I can't. Sometimes I'm calling into like an FM radio thing, or sometimes it's a magazine. So I asked my publicist, you got to let me know so I can be full snake man or like medium, you know?
Yeah, because you are, for folks that don't know what they're getting into, you are very uncensored. Some might say unhinged. You know, it's a no holds barred situation. What's that?
Explicit, maybe, you know, I'm just honest. I speak freely.
Yeah, the book is, I describe it as raw. The one I read. Quicksand is raw.
Somebody else just said the same thing. I was in Mexico last week, and somebody was, your first book was so raw. Which, I felt like I was the RZA making the first couple Wu-Tang albums. It felt nice.
It literally feels that way, because you can tell it's like, this is his first book. He's saying, I can't believe he's talking about this stuff. And not only I can't believe how he's talking about it. And that's my favorite thing. It's authentic. That's one of the biggest things Boston taught me when I moved there, was like authenticity.
Yeah.
I feel like you really got to be who you are, and it's accepted there on a different level.
It's encouraged, even more so than that. It's not, the opposite is not really tolerated or appreciated.
No, there's no space for that. There's no space for that. So the waiting room, though, it's out. How's the sales going? It's moving?
Oh, good. So far, you know, it came out like 2 weeks ago. The day it came out, I like got shadow banned. I got in trouble on like Instagram and Facebook for like nothing, for a post that was like 7-8 months old. They were claiming it was like a sexual solicitation. It was a meme. It had nothing to do with that. They thought I was like, you know, I'm a prostitute, or I'm selling prostitutes or some shit. It's nothing, but it was bad timing because I'm promoting my shit and I use all these platforms to help do so. And they kind of fucked me a little bit. I've been still, you know, getting through there. It's been good reviews so far. Doing a bunch of press. A lot of it will be coming out, you know, in the next month or two, because sometimes it takes a little while. But a book it's not like an album. Like, especially nowadays, you know, an album comes out, it lives for like, it feels like weeks. And then it's done, there's something else. But a book you can stretch a lot longer, so that's good. And I'm glad it's out. It's like off my back, you know. It's out there, and I'm happy and proud of this one even more so than the first one. It's still raw, but I think my writing style is a little tighter. Everything is a little tighter.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I don't really know how I feel about my art or anything until it's out in public, and then I see it, and then I get better than the next time. Is that kind of how you go about it? Or
yeah, I mean, after my book came out, and I was reading some other books at the time, you know, shit I like to read, and I was like, shit, is my shit good or bad? Did I do some dumb shit that this guy did? Or did I do some good shit like this? And I would go pick up a copy of mine or grab one for my girl and start rereading my book, even though I fucking have edited it a million times, read it. I was like just trying to like dissect everything, like, oh, I hope I didn't do some dumb, weak shit or like something predictable. Or did I do something good here, you know? Hypercritical, but that keeps you always kind of striving for more, you know?
I actually was telling someone about your book the other day. They drove a Mercedes, and I was like, I'm glad you don't drive a BMW. My guy Jay the S had like a mini chapter about how everyone has a BMW in LA, and it doesn't mean what you think it does. You're basic.
And also, it'll probably be a bad drive, just like 8 times out of 10.
Yeah, it's interesting how that works though. Cars in one city mean one thing, and in another they don't mean anything at all.
And in the right states, like a good pickup is a Lambo, you know? Depends.
Exactly. So you're doing this press tour or whatever. Is it nationwide, or are you mostly on the coasts? Like, where are you tapping in?
It's a lot of it's like, you know, either like magazines or online journals or things like that, or the podcast radio shows. So it's all over. I'm not physically going to too many of these. I mean, there's a couple like local LA ones I can go to, but they're not always regional things unless it's like a radio show. Sometimes those are, I've done a few like journal things that are like from a certain city, but a lot of it I'm able to do from the fucking comfort of where I'm at. I was just in Mexico for 3 weeks and I was doing shit like all the time out there, press wise. But you know, for wherever, different states and shit like that.
Are they? Is your part of me wants to ask you to like read us an excerpt from the author, but that would be absurd, I think.
Yeah, I think that I started a couple of podcasts ago of my podcast, Damage Goods Podcast, which you should check out. I started right when the book came out. I started the episode. I read one of the chapters, but I didn't do it like I do my audiobooks. I did like a Jay-Z take, like one take read right there, and then went into the podcast. So I share shit, you know.
So the Damaged Goods podcast, which we don't want to get overshadowed at all here, you've been doing that for, what, 7 years now?
I think about 5. I had another podcast called Russian Souvenirs, and I started that with a friend, a partner, co-host, whatever, but then he couldn't really go forward with it. So I was doing that, and then I kind of just like refocused it into a different idea, like Damaged Goods podcast. I have conversations with people in the different arts, musicians, writers, directors, actors, chefs, fucking a hairstylist. I consider an artist. Even if you were the manager of a musician, or you work at a record label, whatever, you fit the criteria. And but I wanted to be like, you know, kind of the way my books and shit are. We talk. I make a lot of jokes. Sometimes they do. We share crazy stories, but sometimes we touch on some harsh shit, some shit that might have made the process of you creating this album, this movie, this book, or whatever. Was there a difficult period for you? You know, something that might have left you a little damaged. It's, you know, it's still upbeat and funny and shit, but we get, you know, serious small some shit.
You know what's funny, man? I'm picturing you doing one of these ones that you're not allowed to curse on, and I can't even imagine it.
I'm all right at it. I can. I just have to slow it down in my mind so I don't slip up. But I can do it. I used to do it, you know, when I was making music. I would end up on FM stations, even freestyling or kicking verses, and you have to just know to censor shit out. You know, you gotta just know where you're at. It's not
if you can rap and censor at the same time, that's like the next level. It's the next level, man.
It's not as fun though, but you know you got to be able to try to do it.
Yeah, or you can just have your own like replacement words. It's just a different. It's
like a dance hall horn, like right when I'm.
Yeah, I always felt bad when people couldn't freestyle without swearing because like they would miss mad opportunities because there'd be dudes who'd be like, I can't do it. And you're like, damn, all right.
It takes away from it a little bit too. Sometimes it takes away from the energy of the artist.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, different types of artists. I've had people too when we first got started. I was like, yo, can you send me some clean records? And they're like, nah, I don't want any of my stuff clean.
Oh, see, that seems
like,
weird.
all right.
Why would you not, like all radio has to be clean except for satellite radio. So
they were not with being censored in any. That one stopped me. I went home and like thought about it after that conversation. I was like,
either, but like, you know, your shit ain't gonna play on even college radio stations and shit like that. Underground stations, they still have to have it censored if it's under a certain hour, you know.
Yeah, if you want to get played between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., you can.
Yeah. And if you're like mildly good at listening to music, you can kind of decipher what word he was saying or she was saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did they say there? They might have bleeped it out, but I know they were saying this or that. You know?
Yeah. Well, and the real thing is. You know, not to bemoan the state of music, but people aren't listening to the lyrics anyway.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It depends, though. I feel like there is in some realms. I mean, in mainstream commercial music, I've always had a little bit of disdain for it, and generally there, I don't think they are. I think you're correct, but not just even in hip hop, but like I know like some indie bands that are, you know, pretty big. They might not be the MTV big, but people listen to their lyrics and shit. And even in hip hop and shit, there's like a ton of artists right now that people are sweating their lyrics so hard, and sometimes I even have a hard time getting into it because of the production, like maybe not helping me get drawn in, but the lyrics are very impressive and motherfuckers are sweating it. But that's never going to be the mainstream shit. Here and there, somebody slips through the fucking fence, but not a lot of artists. You know?
Through the fence. What type of production are you looking for these days? What's
I'm not making music. Oh,
no, I know. Yeah. What's grabbing you?
For hip hop or music in general or what?
Yeah.
For hip hop, it's like I'm sometimes I'm unpredictable and I like some shit that people wouldn't think, but I do like a lot of the shit that is kind of coming from a more of like the mid to late 90s feel, early 2000s feel, and even if it's new young artists doing it, just because that's the shit I grew up with. And I didn't like, I felt when the end of my music career too, I felt I was pretending or trying, forcing myself to like get into certain music that I didn't really like because I had to play nice in the industry, or I had to appease people, or you got pressure from managers, record promoters, dudes like that, or even my own pressure to try to stay up on it and see how I can, be in this circle without sacrificing my integrity. But I really didn't like that. I felt like I was going against the grain, and I felt like a lot of people would. But now, the last like 5 years in hip hop, especially, I feel like there's a lot of artists that don't have to do that, and there's a fan base for them, and it's kind of expanding. And there's like more good albums for me in the last like 3-4 years than there were for a long time, where I'm actually like happy to listen to shit. So I like that shit. But then like the new Pusha T album, I just started listening to the other day. I didn't listen to it in Mexico because I'm in palm trees and beaches and margaritas, and it's not the right vibe. Environment's very important for music. Like you don't walk the streets in the city in the East Coast when it's raining listening to Bob Marley. It's just not gonna fly. So I waited. I got back to LA the other day. I started listening to it, and it's half Neptune's, half Ye, and I love it. It works great for Pusha T. It works great for that album.
It's interesting you say that because I found that like when I'm in LA, Vince Staples is ringing off for me. Yeah. And then I went back to Boston and I was trying to drive around and bump it. And it was fine, but I was like, it's just not hitting the same. I was like, I'm just going to save this for when I'm out west.
Yeah, the environment is big. When I played South by Southwest a few years in a row when I used to make music. And the very first year out there, it must have been 2008, I think. And, being an East Coast kid, it took a little while for me to open up to like more Southern music. But I always liked 3-6 and UGK and Devin the Dude, of course, and Scarface, Ghetto Boys. But then when you're out there and you're driving around in rental cars and you're playing shows and you're out in Texas more, and you're bumping UGK or Zero or some shit, it hit me in a different way. And I already liked it, but then I developed a bigger love and appreciation for it, And then I go to Texas way more after that. Houston, Galveston, fucking Dallas, you name it, dude. McAllen, El Paso, all those shits. And, that kind of shit I felt it a lot more.
It happens. There's like I remember so driving when I first left, on the road trip or whatever, once you hit DC, like Dolph's music starts hitting harder and it like certain stuff changes. And then from there on, it jams the whole way, whether it's people knowing the lyrics in the clubs or this and that, or just in your vehicle, you know what I mean? So it's funny how, and I still remember the first time reggaeton made sense to me. It didn't make sense to me for a long time, man. And then I was walking down the street in Costa Rica and I was like, oh, okay,
My formative years with JP, Jamaican Plain, Boston, for those who don't know. I mean, the reggaeton, that shit was blasted for years and years before it probably was mainstream. So I was used to hatchbacks and Civics driving around blasting that shit. I've heard of probably more reggaeton than I need to in my life. But I'm cool with it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just funny how it certain stuff, you just have to see it or feel it, and then you're like, I don't know if you froze on your end or if it's just on my end.
I'm here. I'm moving. Am I not moving?
Okay. No, but I can hear you though.
Oh shit! Who knows? You and I both look fine on my side, so.
All right then, it's probably on my end. That's fine with me. Yeah, it's different situations, and it's cool when it happens, when music that didn't make sense all of a sudden makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you don't get something, maybe you need to change your environment, and it might
Revisit
work.
it later,
Yeah, man. So just real quick before we, so we've been talking like we know each other, which we do. But some people here might not know who you are. We know we have the Waiting Room book out now, Quicksand out now. Buy them both, read them both. But for folks who just don't know, real quick, who is Jake Fraczek, and why should they care about these books?
Man, that's what a compassing question. I'm a artist. That's what I'm somebody who thrives and lives on self-expression. And I just did an interview before this where someone was talking about do I still do music and what do I got coming with music? How does it tie into the writing? And I was like, I haven't made music professionally since 2015. Before I made music, I was an artist. My grandparents were painters and shit, so I grew up drawing and painting. I got really into graphic shit like comic books, drawing that. Then from age 10 to 20, I was skateboarding was my life. Like that was the main thing I was doing, and I always thought that was art expression. Yeah, bless you.
Thank you.
Not a sport. That was art and expression. And then I was getting into music too. I mean, I was always into hip hop since I was little. I was breakdancing, or trying to at least, and writing graffiti when I was young. And then, starting to make music, that became my new canvas. And then when I was just so soured by the music industry, like to the point where it sadly fucked up my passion to want to participate any longer professionally, I didn't, I kind of stepped away and I got into like broadcasting and doing a podcast and later a radio show. And I was writing little poems and stories, which later become books. And I just kind of progressed into that as my canvas, So I'm always expressing myself.
That makes sense. Yeah. So it's gonna be an expression one way or the other.
And I have to. If I don't, I'll go fucking mad. That's how the writing came about. Music was therapeutic in this way. I surf all the time. Surfing is like my new skateboarding because my knees are fucking old. And just like painting and drawing, those were my escapes. I'd be a young kid alone a lot of times. I could just pick up a pen, a pencil, a paintbrush, and I would be gone in a whole other world. And that's what music would always do, transport me. Skateboarding, when I'm surfing and skating, I was alone, even if I was with my homies, and I was in a peaceful place. And writing is like medicine for me, dude. I pick up a fucking moleskin, my phone or my computer in moments of impulse and just start throwing some shit down that's going on in here,
Oh yeah, are you the type that like just get it out, edit it later?
Yeah, I jump out of bed, or if I'm in the car, I'll talk it into my phone. And I'm the only one who can understand all the fuck ups that talk text is not my friend. And then I go and I always edit it later, clean it up. Words, maybe it's just a thought. How do I make it poetic? How do I don't make it read well, And so I always get it down so you got the idea so you don't forget it, because you won't remember every good idea. Even with music, you're going to lose an idea. So sometimes you're jumping out of bed, you write it on your phone, a napkin, whatever it takes.
I feel that. Have you checked out the app Otter?
Nah, otter like the animal that swims in the water?
Yep, Otter like the water animal. Yeah, it's a like transcription app. It's not bad. You can take the notes and it'll turn it right into a page.
Yeah, way better. When I go to talk text, I have to be like, "Hey Samuel Patrick, I can't understand you, dude."
No, you can just let it rip, man.
Yeah.
Just check it out. Check it out, Otter. Maybe this next episode will be sponsored by them if you like it.
Yeah, hey, Otter, reach out to the show.
We're racking them up one at a time. So Otter, and where's the best place for people to check in with you, man?
On social media, you can follow me on Instagram at Jake Fraczek. That's at JakeFraczek. Got to spell it because it's a fucking crazy name. At Damaged Goods Podcast. On Twitter, it's at J the S. Facebook is my name. DamagedGoodsPodcast.com. My books, Quicksand and the Waiting Room, you can get them on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, select stores, Kindle, audiobook, fucking, even Walmart sells it, some other online shit as well.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, you're definitely the dude with the multiple different names on his on his social media.
J the S is short for Jake the Snake, and then Jake Fraczek there too, the writing shit. So it's a long story.
Yeah. Do you want to hang out and chat with MonaVeli with me, or are you gonna hit
Yeah, I'll
the
stick
road?
with you a little bit. I gotta go prep some meal shit with my lady in a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna hang for a bit.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate your time, man, and
Thank
best
you,
of
Sam
luck
Patrick.
with
It
the
was my
book.
pleasure.
I'm gonna grab one before I see you again, so maybe I can
Good.
get that signature.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
got you.
have the collector's items all
Nice.
over the place
If
here.
you dig it, leave me an Amazon review. And if you don't dig it, leave me at least a hilariously mean one on there.
What's the best review you've gotten, good or bad?
I haven't gotten any like bad ones other than people maybe being a little uncomfortable with it. But the best ones when people connect with it and say like, "Oh shit, I went through this," or "Thank you for, writing about this." Some people just laugh at it. Some people laugh with it. I don't care. If you fucking like it on any level, thank you.
Word. So, oh, she just disappeared as we were about to do this, but we're about to bring MonaVeli to the stage here. MonaVeli, if you are ready to rock, just get your camera on in the background so I know before I bring you up here.
Am I allowed to ask or jump in and say anything? Or
Yeah. If you're here, you're here. I'd prefer that you join the conversation rather than, because otherwise it looks crazy if you're just like staring,
Yeah.
you know?
No,
So,
I would be delighted to, but I'll be gentlemanly about it and allow you to discuss and then.
yeah. Co-host energy is appreciated for sure.
I know that role.
When you get multiple hosts, you never know. So, but yeah, MonaVeli, if you're ready, let me know. Turn on your camera so I know we can bring you on, or leave a comment if that doesn't work. I'm gonna shoot you a text too in case you can't hear me right now, but we want to get you to the stage ASAP. I see you behind the scenes, but can't see your face, so I don't know if you're here. Nope, she's gone again. Let me text her.
You're a brave, ambitious gentleman for having so many people on sometimes at once. I've seen the other ones where you got like 4 or 5 motherfuckers at once.
Yeah. Oh, there she is. Okay, so I think she's back. Oh, she's gone again. Keep your camera on if you want to come on screen, MonaVeli. Yeah. Usually people can stick around, but we have basketball and some other stuff tonight. But yeah, if you're tuned in, if you're feeling it, if you're enjoying the show, please share the live. Please share. Man, this started on Instagram Live, actually, believe it or not. During the pandemic, I did it every Tuesday. And I didn't know the people I was bringing on. I was just clicking accept. So it was even wilder. I was meeting brand new people every week. Only one dude tried to troll me.
That's what I was going to ask. Did you encounter anybody just coming to talk?
Yeah, one dude came on and he was like young and like tried his best, but it was funny. Like I got messages after, people were like, "That was dope. I don't think I would have handled it that well." I kind of was like, "Nah, man, it's not really the space for that." And
you were very professional. I would have like probably re-roasted him back and maybe encouraged others to do so.
Man, I found if you entertain that energy, it just.
Don't get it twisted. I never argue on social media. I don't respond to Facebook comments, Instagram tweets that are bullshit. But if it's like on air, like I
let him show himself as he wanted. It's a space for people to show themselves, and that's how he appeared. And I was like, all right, man, cool, do that somewhere else though. But without further ado, bring it to the stage. The EP is out now. Rich. We got MonaVeli. What's happening?
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks, guys, for having me.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Of course.
Thank you for joining us. Looking crispy. We got the whole thing worked out.
Got the lighting set up and everything for you guys.
I have noticed your look.
I'm just lucky to be here.
Yeah.
What was that?
And this is his show. I'm just lucky to be here. I'm a guest as well. So.
Nice to meet you, love.
See, he's already getting in the flow. People are,
I'm
kidding, bro. I'm kidding, bro. No, he is. So are we all. I noticed, I was going to say earlier, the looks are always on point from you.
Thank you.
And it's definitely, I almost feel like fashion has got to be pretty up there on your loves as well as music, if I'm not mistaken.
Most definitely.
And we have #1 fan in the building, Jeffrey Allen, saying hello.
Hello, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey promotes harder than a lot of these artists out here.
He does. He promotes other artists' music a lot harder than some artists do, which is crazy. But we always see it, and we love the love. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Shout out Jeffrey. He's been tapped in with us for a little bit too. So we got Rich out now. So I don't know if you remember this. We've met before. Did you know that?
I remember I was on LFOD, I believe, like when I first like got started, like earlier years. Like, oh, I
I don't
wasn't?
believe I don't believe you've ever been on LFOD.
Damn.
No.
I've been
Some
on so
other.
many. That's crazy. Where did we meet though? Because I'm honestly, I'll be honest, I'm horrible with like
No, it'd be weird if
remembering.
you remember. So it was actually way back. I don't really ask or care too much about age, but you were probably like 15 or something at the Sound Lab.
Oh, yeah,
Latrell
that makes sense.
invited me to the Sound Lab a long time ago, and they were like, "You were in high school, maybe." I don't know when you started going there, but like they were like, "Oh, we got a bunch of like younger people here checking it out and stuff." So it's been cool to see that you kept going with it.
Thank you. Yeah, no,
Uh,
it was definitely around 2015. So that's crazy. You got great memory. But yeah,
I'm kind.
Sound Lab is still home, so that's
Yeah, I'm
great.
like not quite Dart Adams with it, but sometimes I relate to how he's like, I remember that whole day from kindergarten. I'm not quite there, but I am the one that's like, I remember that person. I don't know if they have any clue that we met, but you know.
No, the energy is definitely familiar, and I'm happy to be back talking to you. So thank you again.
Yeah, welcome. And yeah, of course. So was that where you kind of got your start there at the Sound Lab?
Yeah, like professionally, yeah. That was like the first time I've ever been in a professional studio was for the Brockton Youth Cypher with Stanza. He put that together. He was an engineer at the Sound Lab at the time, and it was just like I felt right at home. Like I felt like exactly where I was supposed to be my whole life. I was into production when I went to school in Boston. Before that, I've been singing since I could talk. I've been rapping since I was like 9. Um, yeah, 2015 was my first time in the studio at the Sound Lab, and that was the place where I really honed my performance skills with Latrell James and Jessica, his manager at the time. I met Dutch Rebel through there, and she ended up being my mentor as well. So yeah, it was like the catalyst for a whole lot of stardom.
Fire. I like to shout out the places like that give those opportunities.
Got to.
And shout out to you for making the most of it, which it seems like you did for sure.
Most
And so,
definitely.
are you from Brockton or are you from Boston?
Yeah, 508 all day. Born and raised.
Okay. They're having a little moment. There's something in the water out there, for real.
Latrell James was in the water. That's what it was. Latrell and his manager. They used to like do. I was actually at a podcast interview last night, and I was talking about this. They came through, and Saint Leor from Van Buren used to come to the Sound Lab all the time too. There's a rap battle owner out here named Wise Mizamaki, who was also in. I believe he was in one of the Brockton Youth Cyphers, but we all got like performance training and stuff like music critiquing from Latrell James, who was like a goat in the scene out here, and his manager's a lot harder than he is when it comes to like standards. So
Shout
we
out
literally
Jess.
were in boot camp whenever we were over there. So I feel like that's what it was. That's why we all have that star quality in common.
That's fire. I didn't know the St. Leor connection too. Shout
Yeah.
out VB for sure.
Yeah.
I haven't met. I'm still on record. I haven't met anybody from Brockton that I haven't liked yet. So
Yeah, no, we're lit.
the
We're
trend
lit.
is still going. The
It's funny
trend is
because
still
most of
going.
us went to school with each other too. Like I know St. Leor and Luke Bars and Ricky Felix from high school.
Okay.
I've known C4 since middle school. So yeah, it's crazy, the connections.
Yup. I gotta get back out there. My guy Darius Haywood took me to Supremes out there.
Love Darius Haywood.
Okay, see,
It's
you know
funny.
Darius
He
too.
actually, my mother was his daycare teacher. Like, so when I like my first performance at the Middle East, he performed with me. I believe it was Dutch Rebel's like her event, and we shared a stage, and it was just great vibes. It was amazing. Watching him perform was like insane. It was otherworldly.
Yeah, he's the man. Huge shout out to Brockton, and y'all support your city supports you too, which is really cool. I remember
Yeah.
going to shows in Boston, and anytime a Brockton artist would be there, there'd be a billion you know,
Vibes.
people in the audience. And shout out to Boston, but cats in Boston don't want to go to Everett for a show, so it's like
It was nobody would
Far.
go.
I've had to go to Everett probably 3 times my whole life, and I'm like, I'd rather not.
I'm not trying to bash Everett, but
I'm not gonna. But it's beautiful out there. It's just far as hell from me. Like
I wouldn't call it beautiful either, though. What are you gonna say, Jake? You got an
I
experience?
was kind of agreeing with you about the maybe not so beautiful, but no knock on Everett. I got people out there, but yeah, it's not as.
I'm not gonna say that, but it's like I had some of the best mangoes while I was out there. Like the stores and stuff are lit, so I had a good little vibe out there.
I'm with all of Massachusetts. So you got, yeah. And Boston artists are,
I missed it. Well, that was quick. Was that hard?
Yeah.
we're about love here, Jake. So Jake, you were like a different era of Boston hip hop where people were not collaborating at all.
Know each other well, go back, but Liz, when you were talking about her age earlier in 2015, I was like, oh shit, I'm fucking old as shit. But yeah, I know Dutch from way back and shit. If you ask her if she knows Jake the Snake or Jay the S, she does. We used to rock together and shit. But yeah, I am from a different era. Because now, thanks, Samuel. I feel very old now. You just up older than me. It's all good though.
Yeah, man, you made it this far. That it's like a thing to be celebrated.
I like that. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'm fucking Asian fine. I feel good, and I like this version of me better than 25-year-old Jake. You know, 25-year-old Jake the Snake, 30-year-old Jake the Snake. No, crazy. So this is still crazy, but like a control crazy.
Yeah, who knows what Dutch is gonna tell her when she asks about you, though.
Hopefully, only good things. Sure, I don't know.
She's probably seen some stuff.
That's a good. You said she was like a mentor to you. That's a good mentor to have.
Yeah, she helped me a lot with the business side of things. Where like Latrell and Jess were more like sonically and performance-wise, but when I was working with Dutch, it was like business boot camp. It was like
that's interesting that you got that from another artist. Getting like the business boot camp from her, I was expecting you to say artistry shit, but that's important, dude. Artists need to know the business side.
Yeah, I mean, she also obviously she helped a lot because she's also a powerhouse on stage herself. Yeah. So like just being under her wing, I learned a lot about like stage control and like crowd control and stage presence and things like that. But as far as like branding and stuff, Latrell and Jessica more like molded that so that when I did get to the point of working with Dutch, she really just like all we really had to do was focus on like getting an LLC and like securing relationships, networking, like the
you got your ASCAP? Are you ASCAP or BMI?
What was that?
Are you ASCAP or BMI?
BMI.
There you go. Hey,
I believe I'm BMI.
So,
I'm gonna sound like an asshole because I don't like handling any of that. So like management would be able to tell you.
Oh, so you have some. She's like, I don't touch the paperwork anymore.
I try to touch as little as that. Like I know, I understand it. So when they come talk about it, I know what we're talking about. But like, I'm just gonna pass it to them before I even try to figure it out myself.
Very trusting, though. That's very trusting. I could never trust anybody. Not to disrespect my managers or anybody, my publicists, but I just had to take care of my baby as well. You know, I was like a helicopter parent, so I wanted to make sure they was really on it all the time.
Yeah. And so like I'm also like very, very hands-on. So like again, I need to know, like I need to make sure I'm understanding whatever somebody's coming to me and talking about. But luckily everybody on my team, like my manager, my lead manager, he's a good friend of mine first. So yeah, like, I do trust him. I call him for anything. So if I can't read it for whatever reason, I do trust that he can look over it and he knows what he's talking about. He has his own company, his own businesses, his own staff. So like I trust him. His business mindset is great. So I'm glad I can trust him 100%.
It sounds like you got all the pieces, and that's huge. Shout out to Dutch too. I learned she is dope on stage. This will make me sound old, but I remember she always did Ketchup. Ketchup was my shit. You've heard Ketchup?
Song of hers?
Yeah, it's like a acapella she would do.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. She used to come out like that would be like her intro type of thing to get the crowd's attention.
I used to have the bars in my head, but she'd only really do it live. But Ketchup, I think, is what it's called, and you might be able to find it on YouTube. Like I think it was like packaged with something else too. But yeah, Ketchup, and she was big with the heat check on the crowd.
Yeah.
And yeah, so definitely you got it all. And so you mentioned Latrell and Jess with the image. One thing that stuck out to me is you got this album Rich that's out right now, or this EP, Rich, and you look rich every time I see a photo or a video. Or so is the EP, did that come, like, has the image been like, we're gonna make this look rich, and then that grew from it, or was it all a plan up to it, or how did this all come together?
I've actually been planning the EP since I've been getting mentored by Dutch Rebel. So it's like since 2016, I believe this was in the works.
Wow.
Yeah, it went through like probably 3 revision processes, and then I got into the rollout process with my last business partner, and then we parted ways, and then I got a new manager. So I didn't really rebrand it, but like the name has always been Rich. The theme has always been wealth outside and beyond, I should say beyond monetary value. So just like knowing he has a great mindset, business mindset, and he's great with marketing and branding and everything, I wanted to go over, like basically just go over it with him to make sure like all of the ideas and the marketing, the rollout was cohesive. So we basically just went over a bunch of ways of like how to make the image and like, the branding of the project like coincide with my branding of MonaVeli LLC and the marketing and everything like that. So it kind of just came like very easy because I feel like that's naturally already somewhat my aesthetic, not to sound conceited, but like again, you already said, like, I'm very into fashion and high-end looking things. And so it was just kind of natural, like how we went into it. We wanted to keep it minimalistic though, to like very much keep that theme of like wealth, like we said, beyond monetary value. So we wanted to stay away from like a whole bunch of gold and like actual money and shit like that, so that you could just get that feeling. So like it translated well, which I'm glad, because you got that idea and we didn't have to use a whole bunch of props and shit like that. So I'm proud of that.
It was definitely connected. And real quick though, I know Jake, you got to get out of here, man. So thank you for joining us.
I ask Mona
Thank you so much.
Ask one question before I depart. Yeah, the name like MonaVeli, like where'd the Veli come from? The inspiration for that.
Of course. So Mona Lisa comes from, Mona from MonaVeli comes from Mona Lisa. I consider myself a Renaissance artist, like beyond music. I'm just art, period. I paint, I draw, I like to dance, like any and every form of art I'm into. So my mother just like chose that for the first half. And then I'm a forever fan of Tupac.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. That's what I was waiting
for. But because of that, not like I actually looked into where he got his name. I read books about Tupac. I read his book. So I just loved where he got his name from.
Yeah.
So, the Veli is Machiavelli, but also like Tupac.
That. I didn't want to be presumptuous. So it's a great name, and congrats.
Thank you so much.
I got to depart. You two continue though.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you, love.
Thank you, Jake. Be well. We'll talk soon. Peace. All right, peace. All right. Yeah, it's funny. They listen to so much Tupac in California still. I didn't realize it was like this, but
of course.
Every day someone drives by bumping it. And
I feel like I cater to all markets then. That's great.
Oh, yeah, you'd be straight out here. Yeah. It's funny because it doesn't happen with Big. Like, I don't hear Big really on the East Coast like that.
Oh.
Do you?
I don't know. Well, that's more New York, right?
Yeah, but I guess maybe in New York.
I think like both areas, so maybe that's why. But I'm trying to get back out to Cali. I'm working on it. I love it out there.
Yeah, how have you been? Whereabouts have you been out here?
Where were we in California? We went to LA.
Okay.
For my 21st birthday.
Okay.
And oh my God, the vibes were just like peace. It was like I can't even say anything else but peace. Like that's just what it was the whole time. Like you're just looking up at these tall ass trees and it's always nice out. It's like, yeah, that's what I'm working for to get back here.
Yeah, I definitely thought I was going to be here for like 2 weeks. And then I was like, it's sunny every day. I don't know how I'm supposed
why would I leave?
Yeah. I'm a summer kid, so I'm like, no, this is what I want. I feel much better when the sun's out. So
Yeah, I need that. I need that. I can't wait.
well, it's ready for you. And Boston is out here too, and they're rocking with Boston. I was telling someone earlier, it was crazy. Like, it was such a cool feeling to be out here and have a car go by and just hear beer, beer, and be like, oh shit, okay, so they know. They're definitely getting hip to the Boston artists out here too. So
Super exciting.
yeah. What's exciting is what you said. You started planning for this EP in 2016. Did you? So I don't know the exact number, but I feel like there's 6 songs on it. How many songs are on it? 6? Yeah. Was it a thing where you had like 400 songs and you slimmed it down, or how did you work it out?
So basically how it happened was like when we first started putting it together, it was all older tracks. And then, you evolve as a person, you evolve as an artist just the same. I started feeling like I didn't identify with the songs as much. So we revamped it, revised the track list, and then it kind of happened again. And every time it happened, like we weren't in a space to be ready to start a rollout. So like I did have the time, like we were kind of just focusing on like my sound and establishing my awareness as an artist, more so like putting out singles and music videos and stuff like that, showing people like what I'm capable of basically to start with. But yeah, after Truth came out, I was like, yeah, I think we're definitely ready to like really focus our energy on the EP. So I got together like some demos and like stuff like that, and just my favorite songs, and went over it with my previous business partner to make sure everything sounded cohesive. But yeah, all of them are newer songs. So like everything was written between the past 2 years, I believe, except for Wants and Needs, which was written about 3 years ago, I think. But yeah, everything else was in between the last 2 years.
That's such a level of preparation, because we live in an era where a lot of people are popping by this is kind of ending, but there was during that time period the era where people were just putting stuff on SoundCloud with like no planning.
It's still definitely a thing. Yeah, no, I'm very strategic, and especially like if I'm putting something out that I put my heart and soul into, like I want to make sure I'm pushing it to the best of my capabilities. It's like, you can't determine the results, but you can affect them. So I'm going to do as much as I can to sway them in my favor.
That's a word right there. That sounds like a Jessism, So it's like, it's interesting too, though, because it's like as an art. So your plan was to come out as more of like a fully formed artist rather than figuring it out on a public stage?
Yeah. I think that wasn't the goal. Like it kind of happened that way, and I'm blessed that it did. Because again, I had like great mentorship early on, that fell in my lap just because of my talent. So, and obviously my work ethic. So I'm really glad. Yeah, I'm glad that I was able to like hone some of my like other skills as far as like performing, like I said, and getting comfortable in the studio and stuff like that, networking and shit, before I really was put into the industry or put in the scene, like before I started showcasing myself, if that makes any sense. So I think I was just lucky. I got to fuck up a lot behind the scenes before, being showcased. So,
well, good for you too, though, for listening. I was having this conversation with the homie the other day. He's been trying to give people advice of situations he's been through, and they're like, nah, but I think I'll try this thing. And it's like, it can be really frustrating because you're like, no, I've done that. Like, I know how it's going to go. So shout out to you for listening and know what I mean? Knowing that like you're special, but you're not like this level of exception where the rules are going to change because you're out here.
There's still rules you got to play. And I mean, like, if you really love the industry and you love, like, because I don't just love the craft, I don't just love hip hop, I love the industry. And I feel like that's a question a lot of artists have to ask themselves, because like obviously you'll do anything for music, but what are you willing to do to leave your impact and leave your mark in the industry? So yeah, it's different. There are certain rules you got to follow. You got to do social media, you got to do TikTok, you got to do all that shit. So,
Yeah, that's important. And it's that artist development. Jake's gone. He probably would have gone on a rant when we're dropping an interview with him, and I had a whole conversation with him about that. He was like signed. He used to win battles in Boston, got signed, was all around doing stuff, and he hated the industry and basically put his music aside because of it. So it really is a question. You can chase your dreams and then find out, I don't like what it actually feels like.
Exactly.
So it sounds like you're ready. It sounds like so Rich is out. I'm guessing there's some more videos on the way and stuff, but you've probably thought about, you can't take 7 years for the next one. So what's coming now?
So I'm not gonna, reveal all my tricks, but I will say I like to give myself a few months to actually like allow people to receive and digest like what I just put out, especially with the EP. I want to give this a little more time, but we have already started working on like the next single and the visuals for that. I am really, really excited about this because we've been working on like my sound development sonically, and I feel like we've cracked the code. So this next song is going to be obviously still me, but like damn near final form Belly. So like I'm very excited for that.
All right.
We just expanded the management team, so I'm super excited about that. Moves about to be crazier, consistency is about to be even crazier. Making more moves out to New York, more podcasts. Like we have the whole press run going. So again, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
But yeah, just foot on next, and we not letting up.
I already know based on how you're coming, how it's gonna go. So that's awesome. I'm excited to watch it, and I'm excited to hear this final form because like you said, when you started, it was ciphers, and then now we're hearing more singing. We're hearing a different type of energy. But
I'm glad it's being like it's translating well. Like if people, I was a little nervous, as an artist, sensitive and skeptical about like, oh, people are gonna be like, nah, she's a rapper. Like that's what I'm expecting. That's her lane. But this has been received very, very well. All I've been hearing from other people is like, I just sound like I've evolved as an artist and I'm growing, and they're excited to hear what else I'm doing. It's beyond Boston. And I'm really excited about it. And thank you so much for the kind words, honestly, because it just makes me like keep going.
You're welcome. Please keep going. And it does seem like people are rocking with you. Your name's buzzing. The support seems real. You got Jeff in your corner, so you're going places. Where's the best place for people to tap in with you?
Of course. You can find me on everything at Real MonaVeli. That's Real, MonaVeli, MonaVeli, capital M, capital V. I'm on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything. And I follow back, I interact, I don't bite. Show some love.
You're quick on the DMs, I'll give you that.
So I gotta stay on it. I'm about to have management handling that too, though. So.
Oh man, I got in just in time. Well,
I always respond to you though.
Oh, thank you. All right then. It's on record. So, was there anything you wanted to talk about that we didn't chat about?
Not really. You kind of covered all bases. I got to talk about where I started from in the EP and what I think is important as an artist. I think we dropped some like real serious gems in here today that people can take with them for the long haul. So I think we covered everything. This is great.
Bet. All right. Well, I can't wait to link up with you, whether in Boston or LA. I'll be back out for Hoop Hop. I know that August 21st. We'll be doing a cipher at that.
Let me know. So, but I'll definitely be coming back out to LA soon. So right, either way.
Thank you, MonaVeli. Thank you so much. Be safe. Be well. I look forward to hearing stuff. Keep in touch. Feel free to send some MP3s so we can play it on the radio. That always helps. Get management on it. Don't you do that. I know you got the nails, right? You're not typing.
Exactly, of course. I'm not calling out.
Yeah, just let them know. So, all right. Peace. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, love. Have a good night.
See you around. All right, you as well. Shout out to MonaVeli. Shout out Jake Fraczek. Shout out Plato III. Signature. Noel. If you're hearing those names and you're like, huh, who was that? It's because we've been doing this for about an hour and 25 minutes now. You can watch the replay. You can go back and check it out. If you've been here the whole time, shout out to you for tuning in. Shout out Kiki.D, Jeffrey Allen, D Mars in the comments. Shout out the whole LFOD squad. It would not be possible without y'all. It definitely would not be possible without our members. If you don't know what it means to be a member, go to lfod.life and check it out. You can also go to lfod.life/join if you want to skip a step, but it's all right there on the page. We've been doing a lot. We got a new episode of Outside the Algorithm dropping next Thursday with Yoshi Vintage. She's an artist from Flint, Michigan. I met her in LA. That's going to be fire. We got a music video coming with that as well. So we got more and more and more and more on the way, plus a lot of members exclusives, including that J the S interview on the way. Shout out Jeffrey Allen, enjoying the interview. We enjoy your presence, Jeffrey. I'm looking forward to meeting you in real life. We have had a very internet relationship, but I know you're out there at the shows. And yeah, everyone just doing this music thing. Hit us up at LFOD Life, wherever, whenever. And yeah, that's about it. Shout out to everyone tuned in. Be well. We'll be back soon. Peace.